a lot of cities are talking about right now, especially in the Democratic Party, about banning or getting rid of defunding or deplatforming the police. Just in general. All of it. Get rid of all police.
I remember reading that the Minneapolis Police Department is indeed being... like, they're moving forward with...
Well, here's the big difference here between defunding and dismantling. Because
they're dismantling it and they're starting another group, but it's not the police. It's
I haven't heard anything on that specifically about it, like a replacement plan. I've seen a lot of stuff about how we need to defund them, and it'll be a long, progressive system in place where it'll take time. It's not going to be an immediate thing, but eventually the main goal is to completely remove it, and then use allocate the funds to other services for mental health issues and for unemployment, shit like that. Shit that causes crime to happen.
What happens if they defund the police? If somebody needs help, who do they call?
Essentially, do Democrats think that if we take all the money that we fund the police department with and we allocate that money to mental health issues, for unemployment, and for all the other predecessors for crime, that crime just will never happen ever again? And there will never be any crime. I don't want any money going towards the government. The bare minimum. I want the bare minimum going there. I do think there's way too many police officers. I do think that there's way too much money going into the police department for sure. 100%. Do I think that there's a necessity for police? 100%, dude. If I'm getting robbed, I want to call the fucking cops. I need them to be here, and I need them to take care of shit. Why do people want to shut down the police force, right? Because they think that there's systemic racism within the police force, that all police are bad, right? There's several chants that happen within the BLM movement, and there's several chants happening just within any police officer shootings happening. There's always the chant, kill all cops, fry the pigs. There's always those chants that are happening all the time. And
right.
I'm 100% with everybody on the fact that we need to fry the racists within the community. I think we need to fry the people that are disproportionately abusing minorities. 100%. I'm with you. Do I think every cop does that? No. And I think just like it's unfair for anybody to say that all black people are a certain way because of how 1 or 20 or 50 or 100 different black people act, I also think it's unfair to say that same thing about Hispanics. I think that's the same thing to say about gays. I think that's the same thing to say about whites. I think that's the same thing to say about cops. Especially cops, because cops isn't even a race. It's an occupation. And I think so many people forget that there's people behind those uniforms. There's a personality behind that. There's a life behind that. There's experiences and history. There's families. There's children. There's grandparents. Those are people behind those uniforms. And, I brought up these, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I brought this up to, entice emotion. I'm not trying to just be like, hey, look, there's, different races and sexes within the police force. But, these are all people that have died in the line of duty, protecting people. This is a Muslim woman, or I think Hispanic woman. I think she was Hispanic. Yeah, Hispanic. Here's a black woman that died on the police force. That's a black woman. That's a Hispanic woman. Here's a black man that died as a police officer. This is a white woman that died, but obviously people care significantly less about that. But I just included it to show the variety. It's just...
There's also a Muslim one in there you showed it earlier, but...
Yeah, oh, right here, yeah. And a Muslim woman that's even practicing her religion by wearing that, because I believe that's religious. I don't think that's... Yeah. So...
Part of the Muslim.
Yeah, and it's just... It sucks to me because you see all the people that have died. I was bringing up this article here earlier when we see... during 9/11, how many cops gave their lives during that moment. And I feel like it's so easy to toss away the memories of those people. It's so easy to toss away, like, who those people are behind the uniform. It's so easy to, just look at a badge and say, fuck you, you're racist, or whatever. But those are people, man. There's a people just like you and me, and it sucks to see. It sucks to see some of them being racist and fucking taking the power that's given to them and abusing it. But it also sucks to see the rule followers and the good people losing their lives, or getting injured, or trying their best to keep the peace and being told that their job is no longer valued. And this,
Right.
Not only that, but there's 800,000 officers in the world that you're trying, or in the United States, that you're trying to fire right now. If you remove the police force, you're also removing 800,000 jobs that they also have to go find new employment. It's awful, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a weird time we're in right now.
Yeah. And, like, how do you feel? Like, I get it, too, you know what I mean? Like, police brutality's been a thing forever. Obviously, you need to lash out. You have feelings that need to be fucking, like, physically expressed, I get it.
Now, I do have something to say, though.
Yeah.
About, I recently, I work with a federal employer, we used to. The difference, I don't know if being a police officer, you have to finish something called an equip. The equip is a intense background check, is essentially what it is. And people fail the equip for the dumbest things. Tickets, speeding tickets you got 15 years ago. You don't get your clearance.
Yeah. Are you talking about, like, the 3 week, like, approval rating for, like, getting hired on?
No,
as a
not
police?
even that. I'm just saying to work at a federal level, and
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if police officers have to pass their equip. So I work hand in hand with a lot of border patrol agents, ICE agents, and what are the other ones? CBP agents. Their training is 6 months long, and that's to even start. And then after that, you go into a year of training, where if you fuck up one time, you are fired. Those guys, like, you obviously you're gonna find some. No matter what you do, people are gonna fall through the cracks of the system. But to even be considered to be any type of federal job, you have to pass so many background checks. It is sad. It is pathetic to see, like, really good people turned away because they have $8,000 in debt. Like, they don't let people in debt.
Yeah.
They don't let people in debt join. Like, if you've proven that you're not mentally financially stable enough, or and debt is different from, like, a house debt. Like, if you bought a house and you have $200,000 in debt, that's different. That's a different kind of debt. And then sometimes debts in general, like, even if you have, like, $10,000 in school loans, you can't get a federal job. Well, depending. But, like,
right.
Where I worked, you can't get a job there. You cannot. They won't even consider it. Over $8,000 in debt, they throw your shit away. Yeah, you're not responsible enough. Why would we give you a gun? But that just takes me to my next point. I looked into the training to be a police officer, and it varies from place to place. But most of the time, it's 3 to 5 weeks.
Yeah.
3 to 5 weeks, dude. But when you become a border patrol agent who has less power than a police officer, it's 6 months, dude. And then you have to go on a year of, like, and I've heard that year is insane. Like, I've heard multiple people tell me that, like, dude, if you even fuck up one time, like, you're done.
Yeah.
So not only do you have to do 6 months, you also have to do another year of training. So I don't know how much I didn't look at the training for police officers. But I do know for a fact that it's 6 months for border patrol agents. They run classes from January to June, June to December. 6 months classes, 3 months, 3 months straight, 8 hours a day, you're in the classroom learning law. The next 3 months, 8 hours a day, you're doing physical activity, cars, you're shooting every single day, you know what I mean? You're learning the actual aggressive side. And the other 3 months, you're learning law. So for 3 months straight, you are literally in a classroom learning laws. That's all you're doing.
Yeah.
The other 3 months, you are out in the field, you're learning how to drive, you're learning how to shoot, they're teaching you the other things. But the difference between the training is insane.
Sugar, there's a